Hey, sweet Facebook friends, we're going to make us some carrot nut bread. And you know, I was talking to somebody the other day and they said, my children won't eat any vegetables. Well, this is one way they'll eat it, and you can smear a little butter on it and whatever. They never know they're getting a carrot. We do. And it's going to be really good. So the first thing we're going to do is I got out my old food processor and I am going to chop some carrots in it. Y'all know who Methuselah is, don't you? If you don't, look it up in the Bible. I'm not going to tell you. I refuse to. But anyway, this food processor is about as old as Methuselah, but it works really good. So, hey, I have no complaints. Here we go. You can use the big carrots or the little ones, but I just had these in the refrigerator, so I thought, well, hey, I'll just use what I've got. Remember, we talked about that, using what we've got. And I've got to have 2 cups of it. I don't know if that's 2 cups or not. I'll just do the rest of them. I'll do something else with it. I've never put carrots in a pancake, but in the morning, if I have a lot left, I may just have to have carrot pancakes. Somebody could make a recipe for it. That would be good. All right, this is all I've got. It's going to have to be enough. All right. Let's see what it did, y'all. Oh, I'm probably going to have to make 2 things of bread. I've never seen so many carrots. Let's see what we got. Let me get a spoon. Here's my measuring cup. Let's put some carrots in there and see what we've got. This is a 2-cupper. It's probably going to be about right. We won't have too much being wasted, will we? I'm hoping it's not going to rain today. You know, I told you we've had monsoon rains for days and days. There's one that didn't even get cut. I'll eat it with some ranch dip or something. A little bit more. All right, there's me 2 cups of grated carrots. And I'm going to move y'all over here to the other part. We're going to do some more, okay? Hey, y'all, before we do this, I'm going to read these ingredients to you so you'll kind of know. It's going to make 2 big loaves in a loaf pan of your carrot bread. So, and it's really good. Y'all going to love the ingredients. It's going to have 3 cups of all-purpose flour. So what I've done is, you want them all-purpose flour and plain flour is the same thing. So I'm using White Lily all-purpose flour. So we're going to get 3 cups of that. And we are going to get, the next one is some salt. We got that. We're going to get some baking soda, 2 cups of sugar. I hadn't measured that out, but that's what it's going to take, 2 cups of sugar. 1 teaspoon of ground cinnamon. Now don't use cinnamon sugar. Use the strong stuff, okay? 1 cup of chopped pecans, 3 eggs beaten, and the reason I got out 2 are these are double yolk eggs and they're huge. So I'm kind of thinking that this maybe is about the same as 3 like from a grocery store, okay? I don't know, but that's what I'm gonna do. 1 cup of oil, I used vegetable oil, and 2 cups of carrots, and 1 8-ounce can of your crushed pineapple. I do not have that. Mine's chunks, so I'm gonna have to cut it up, but that'll be all right. Remember to use what you got. And some vanilla. Use that. 2 teaspoons of that. So that's flour, salt, baking soda, sugar, cinnamon, pecans, eggs, oil, and 2 cups of your carrots and crushed pineapple and vanilla. Now let me tell you something that's really good. And my pecans, I'm going to finish up this. It takes a cup, and I've got some of these large pieces right here of your princess pecans. And so I don't have enough. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the medium pieces, I'm just going to mix them together. That'll be fine. And I'm going to put the medium pieces in it. But see, these are cut real fine. They're already cut up for you. But anyway, I'm going to use this. And let me tell you something else you can do before we even start, because I'm afraid I'll forget it. A lot of y'all are growing zucchini in your gardens. And so if you don't want to do the carrot bread, which I love, but I love zucchini too, all you do is take you some zucchini, and if it's got a bunch of seeds and mush on the inside, cut that part out and grade the zucchini, rough chop, grate it, chop it, whatever, in your food processor or with a grater until you get 2 cups of zucchini. You do everything else exactly the same. The eggs, the pineapple, the pecans, the flour, everything else is the same. But you can substitute 2 cups of zucchini instead of carrots. I don't have any zucchini, so I hadn't got any choice. But anyway, I want you to know that in case you've got a garden and you do have some zucchini, okay? And then this wintertime when you don't have any, you can do the carrots. Or if you're like me and don't have a garden, you can do it now. Okay, we're going to get over here to the mixer. I'm going to get it set up. We're fixing to cook this thing. All right, here we go. We've got our 3 cups of all-purpose white liquid flour. We're going to dump it in. It's real easy. Now we're going to put in 3/4 of a teaspoon of salt. So this is a 4, so I'll say 1, 2, and 3 of salt. And you're going to do the first 5 ingredients is what we're going to do. The next one is going to be a teaspoon of baking soda. That's the teaspoon right there. Here's my baking soda. And so there's a teaspoon of baking soda. All right. The next ingredient is 2 cups of sugar. Put it in. See how easy this is? Hey, you can have 2 things of bread made in no time. 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. I'm gonna take this little thing off of it so I can dip my spoon down in there. I'm gonna do mine kind of heaping. I love that flavor. Instead of even, I've got mine kind of heaping up a little bit. I love a lot of cinnamon in mine. Okay, but you can do it like the recipe, but I'm bad to change it. Okay, there we go. We got our cinnamon in, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ingredients. All right, it says next to blend those up real slowly. Well, it'd help if I plug this thing in, wouldn't it? I never leave it plugged in. All I'm gonna do is just mix that a little bit now. While that's mixing, I'm gonna beat my eggs up. Let me get me a fork. Now, after we do that, we get it all in there, then we're going to put the remaining ingredients until they are moistened. So let's start with our oil. I'm going to put a little bit of oil in there at a time. This is 1 cup of vegetable oil. Can y'all see? There you go. Alright, there's our 1 cup of oil. Now we're going to do our eggs. I'll show y'all this. This is why I'm only using 2 eggs. It calls for 3, but look at that. Look at that. I mean, those are huge. Said to beat it up a little bit and then put it in. Okay. Let's do our other eggs. This is going to be good in the morning with coffee. I'm making it in the afternoon, but I probably won't show it to y'all till in the morning because I've already posted today, so. All right, there's a number 2. Now we're going to put in our carrots. 2 cups of carrots. And y'all, it only calls for a cup of pecans, but you know how I love pecans, so I'm gonna put, let's see how much this is. That's a cup and a half, and I think I'll add just a few more because I won't add 2 cups. But the recipe only calls for a cup. But since I love pecans, I'm gonna put 2 cups. All right. And the last thing I'm gonna put in is my vanilla and my pineapple. So in the vanilla, it takes, let me see, said the blind man, 2 teaspoons. One. 2. I'm glad y'all are in the kitchen with me tonight. Cooking with Brenda Gantt on Facebook. And then here's our little pineapple. And you know, I was supposed to get the crushed, but this is a last minute thing I'm cooking, so I didn't have the crush. Let me turn this off a minute. Ooh, it looks delicious. You know, they make these pop-up cans, but they don't pop up, do they? It's not good for an old woman. I'm telling you. Let me get me something to put it in. I'll get this little thing right here. Get me a knife. Since I don't have the crushed pineapple. Y'all have trouble with these cans? They did it for our convenience. But to me, it's hard. I mean, half the time I have to get out my can. You're supposed to have it drained, so I'm just going to drain it like this over the sink. I should have saved it. My mom always saved it and added a little Kool-Aid with it. She'd make us what she called a punch. Every Christmas, she would be making cakes and pies and cookies, and it had a lot of fruit in it. And she would always save the juice, and she would always get her some Kool-Aid and put all that juice in it with a little 7-Up or some kind of little soft drink, and she would make us a punch. She'd get it ice cold, and she was a good mama, a good mama. Some of y'all are writing in and you're saying that you had a hard life when you were a child, that different things happened to you while you were children and that sort of thing. Well, and I was blessed to it not happen to me. But I can tell you what, you have a testimony that I don't have. And God uses our testimonies, whether we've had a good childhood or a bad childhood. He uses that testimony for His glory. So you just speak right up and help those that are going through the same situation that you went through. Don't be afraid to do it. See, I can talk to people about having to help a husband that had dementia. Some of you can't do that because you never had a husband with dementia. But I have, so I can help. All right, so that's 8 ounces of pineapple. Doesn't look like very much, does it? I imagine pineapple's kind of strong though, so it's probably plenty. All right, I'm gonna do that up just a time or two. You don't want to do it too much, see, because you got your nuts in there and you don't want to crush them all up. All right, look at the batter, and then I'm gonna get our pans ready. We're gonna cook it on 350 degrees, and in the morning, we're going to get us some coffee together, and we're gonna have coffee and carrot bread. You may be having coffee and zucchini bread. I don't know what you're gonna have. But anyway, I want you to see how pretty it looks. Let me kind of pick some up in there so you can see the batter. See there? Doesn't that look delicious? Okay, I'm going to turn you off a little bit, and I am going to go over there and get my 2 pans. I've got these right here. This is what I'm going to do it in. I'm going to grease them with some solid grease, and I'm going to put a little flour in it, and we're going to bake us some bread, and I'll show it to you as soon as it comes off. Okay, we're ready to bake it. I have greased my pans real good with some solid grease. And then what I do, and you know what, all of y'all got your way of doing stuff. All I do is just put a spoonful of your plain flour in there. I put this on top of this. Then I dance in the kitchen, making me a mess. Matter of fact, they gave me a little sign over there. It says, "This kitchen is for dancing." And I told y'all that George and I used to dance in the kitchen all the time. I'd be in here cooking, and he would come in here. The song would be on our radio, and we would start dancing. All right, that's all floured up really good. What I do then, yeah, that looks good. See, I'm gonna put this. I'm gonna do this over the trash can a little bit. Hit it with the back of my hand, and get it. All right, so here we go. Here's 2 floured pans. That's what you need. If you don't have this, I don't know, maybe you could do it in a bundt pan maybe, or cake pans. I don't know, but anyway, what I do with my pecans, y'all see what I do with them? I just stick all of them there. I left them in the individual packages, what I've got, because I've got morsels and big ones and little ones and all this, and salted ones and whatever. But I just stick them in this thing right here, and I am going to put them in the freezer, because that's where I keep them. And that way, when I want them, I just take them out, use them, put them back in the freezer. So this is a good way to store your pretzels right here. And then it'll be ready for you. All right, so I've got my 2 pans, and here's our batter. And we are going to put it in those 2 pans. See how thick and good it is? This bowl is heavy. My goodness, it's heavy. It's gonna be good, y'all. It is gonna be good. All right. We don't want to waste any of it. I'm gonna get this little thing right here. See if I can get the rest of it out. Look at there. Sometimes I'm watching folks cook and they're leaving stuff in the bowl. I'm thinking, y'all, that's another serving for somebody. Don't leave it in the bowl. Get it all out. And then if you've got little children, let them lick the batter and the bowl. Give them a spoon. I used to, when my kids were little, I would always leave a little bit in the bowl. I wouldn't clean it totally out so that they could get them some. And if I didn't leave a little chocolate cake batter or something in the bowl, they were really disappointing, or the icing or whatever it might be. I kind of shake mine around a little to make sure it's pretty even. We're going to pop these in the oven on 350 degrees. And I think they're cooking an hour and 15 minutes. Let me look. Makes 2 loaves. We got to cool it 10 minutes. It cooks an hour and 10 minutes, and then we let it cool for 10 minutes. And then hopefully pop it out. So let's put it in our oven. We'll put it over here. I already got it preheated. I'm going to say bye to y'all, and I'm going to clean up my sloppy kitchen where I've thrown things around and flour everywhere. I've been dancing in the kitchen, y'all, and I'm glad you're dancing with me. We'll be back in just a minute when these things are ready, okay? While we're waiting on our carrot bread to get ready, I want to walk y'all out here and let you see my bicycle. You haven't seen it in a while. I made this new pot since I've talked to you last. I've got that wandering Jew in it and some elephant ears and one of George's old, what do you call them? Antlers. And I've got some little coleus in here too. And then, so over here, I did some more things in my bicycle, and it's looking real good, see? What I did, if y'all ever want to do this, to do your bicycle, I hooked this old basket to it, okay? And then I put some black fabric down inside that basket like this. And I let it drape over the side of it. And then I filled it with my dirt and everything. Now, it won't last forever, but it'll last a long time. Matter of fact, I got some moss. See there, that little moss growing on it right now? That's actually growing on the fabric itself. And I just put a big piece of old scrap fabric I had in that. And so I've got hen and bitty planted in it. And you can break this off like this. A hen and bitty, you just break it off like that. And that part will grow another one. And you just stick the end of it, of a hen and bitty, it's a succulent, back down in the dirt. Anywhere you can find a spot. And I'll have to go get me a pencil. I usually do it with a pencil because it won't go in it. My dirt's too hard. But I'll do it in a minute. But anyway, I did that on the front of the bike, see? See that's on the front. And then on the back of the bike, it's a 3-wheel bicycle. You can't hardly find them anymore. I wish I had 2 or 3 more. But anyway, then I put a basket on the back. And I did the same thing. I put fabric down in that basket. And see how the moss is already growing on it? And I planted all kinds of little things in here that I think are real pretty and all. So anyway, it was fun to do. And I've had this bicycle for several years. Actually, George bought it for me to ride on. And I did till my knees wore out. And I thought, man, I'm not going to get rid of my bicycle. So I made a planter out of it. It's been raining so hard lately that I want you to look what it's done to my black elephant ear. Just tore the leaf up. See how it split it? The rain was coming down so hard. And this one really got torn bad. Look at that one. We have had some torrential rains. Well, we better get back in there and check our bread. Let's go. I'm fixing to take the bread out. We're going to check it. I want y'all to look at this little thing that was given to me. You remember a long time ago when people checked to see if their cake or pudding or whatever was done, they'd take a broom and just tear off a broom straw out of their kitchen broom. Well, this is what you buy like this, I guess. They gave it to me and they asked me what it was. I said, I don't know. A brush? I didn't know. She said, it's to check your cake with. You stick that straw down there like a broom straw like they used to do. Anyway, I'm going to get ours out. We're gonna check it anyway. We'll just sit one of them out here because if one's done, the other one will be done, won't it? All right, let's stick it in there and pull it up. And I don't see anything on there. I don't see any goo or anything like that. So it must be done. All right, let me get out the other one. Boy, it sure looks good, doesn't it? I don't know if I can wait till in the morning or not to eat it. You turn the stove off. All right, it said to let it sit there and cool for about 10 minutes. So that's what we'll do. It sure smells good. Carrot bread. We'll be back in a minute. Okay, it's been 10 minutes. Here's hoping that they'll flip right out. Here we go. Ooh, how pretty. There we go. All right, let's flip it back over on its pretty side. I'm gonna let it cool just a little bit. It's still real warm. Looks like I put more batter in one than the other one, doesn't it? See there? But it looks pretty, doesn't it? See? Carrot bread. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put it on my cake plate and under this dome, but I'm not gonna put the dome on it right now because I don't want it to sweat. And it's not even gonna fit on there. I'm probably gonna have to turn them sideways or something to make it fit up under there. I don't have one, this biggest one I've got. Yeah, so that'll work. Looks crazy, but it'll work, won't it? All right, but I'm gonna let them cool off naturally so they won't sweat on there. And I was gonna wait till in the morning and have mine with coffee, but I decided that I'm gonna go ahead and have me some now because I just can't wait. And then in the morning, I'll have some more with coffee. So I'm gonna cut off this end part like that. Let you see inside of it. We'll put it on my plate. And I like really, really cold milk with mine too. So, let me show you what I did. I got me a glass and filled it full of milk, and I put it in the freezer those 10 minutes while it was cooling. So I got me a good glass of cold milk. You know, some of y'all might not like milk, but I've liked milk all my life. I love it. All right, so let's see what all we can taste in here and see how it tastes, and we'll give our honest opinion. Okay? I have to put it down to do it. That's delicious. If you were diabetic, you might could get by with putting a cup and a half of sugar instead of 2 cups. That might work. I don't know. But if you do that, you might want to put just a little bit more oil because you don't want it to be dried out. Listen, now remember, you can use zucchini instead of carrots. Or if you don't want to do that, you can use 2 cups of bananas instead of carrots or instead of zucchini. So this recipe, you can actually make 3 different kinds of breads out of it. So it's all made exactly the same way, except for the 2 cups of whatever you're going to put, okay? It's kind of crumbly, isn't it? The nuts are really good in it, the pecans. I can taste them real good. I really can't taste the carrot too much, but I know it's in there, and I know I'm getting something healthy. I don't guess there's anything really in it that's not really healthy, except the sugar. And I like that in there. Y'all have a great night. Of course, you're going to be seeing this in the morning because that's when I'm going to post it. I ain't got time tonight, but I'm going to post it in the morning. And so I guess I'll say, I hope you had a good night. Love y'all. Take care. Be blessed. Let your toes feel good, and it's going to be good, y'all. Bye-bye.